continuing our coverage on the Southeastern Wildlife Exposition this morning.
Josh Marthers is joining us live from Charleston Place in downtown Charleston this morning. Josh, you're joined by some members of the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary. So far, we've seen an owl, an alligator. Hoping you have something great for us now, too.
We do. We have a barred owl coming up, and this is something that all of us encounter here in the Low Country a lot, especially if you live out kind of outside of town. Let's bring in Kristen Mason with Bush Wildlife Sanctuary. And again, we know the barn owl. We had the barn owl earlier. This is a barred, B-A-R-R-E-D, and there's a reason they have that name, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can kind of see on Mo's chest here, this striped pattern looks like bars.
Right. And these are quite common around here. In fact, we were just talking about, I think that's what I have on my street that we see moving around a lot. Tell us a little bit about where you can find these, their characteristics, and what they mean for us here locally.
Yeah, so they are common in this area because they're swamp owls. So they like these wet areas like you find around Charleston. And they're going to hunt things like lizards, snakes, frogs, even a baby alligator if they can find it. And they're very bold, so we see them a lot because they don't mind being in close proximity to humans.
Yeah, the one that's in my neighborhood is quite close, a lot. Now, Mo has a little bit of a story, and this goes back to the Wildlife Sanctuary and the work that you guys do. Mo was hit by a vehicle, and as we were talking about, that's something that's kind of common.
Yeah, unfortunately it does happen, and it's because they've got the blinders on. They're just hunting, they're going after something in the road, and it happens so quickly. Even if we're paying attention, sometimes it's just too fast to do anything about.
Yeah, and what a lot of times it's almost like a dive bomb. They come from way up high, and before you know it, they're right in front of you. And Mo's missing an eye, right? That's what you were telling us earlier?
That's correct. He's actually fully flighted, but he is missing his left eye and had some head trauma from the car collision.
Now Mo is just one example of the things that you guys do down at the sanctuary in Jupiter. By the way, congratulations on the new facility. I hear wonderful things about it. Tell us a little bit about your educational programs and your rehabilitation programs and why it's important that you're here this weekend so everybody at home and everybody that comes to the Wildlife Expo can interact with you guys and see what you do.
Yeah, I mean, we treat 5,000 to 6,000 animals every year, and these are animals that many of whom are migratory. So these could be birds that you have in your backyard today that end up in Florida at some point in time. We also offer sanctuary to some of the animals that can't be rehabilitated, and people come and can see those animals, and we see over 200,000 people every year and do a lot of environmental education, trying to prevent these things from happening again, because most of the animals that come into our hospital come in from human-related causes.
And that's why, again, they're here. They're not here just to show off the animals and talk about them. They're here to kind of bring you into what their mission is and what they do down in Jupiter. Shows are scheduled today and tomorrow and Sunday, 11 a.m. today. Octavia Mitchell will be there for that one. She'll be hosting that one, bringing you guys on stage. And Riley Benson, who's also here with us on News 2 Today, will be with you over the weekend. And make sure you go check those out if you're coming down to the event this weekend. Again, 11 a.m. today, 11 a.m. tomorrow, 11 a.m. on Sunday at the Gilliard Center. In addition to that, we also have all kinds of events all over town. Marion Square, that's the centerpiece of the event. That's the one where it doesn't matter if you have a ticket or not. You can come on through. Cooking demos, wildlife demos, vendors, food, you name it, it's all there. Plus the certified SC tent. That's a really cool one if you haven't checked that out. Brittlebank has dock dogs. The Marriott has the decoys and a lot of the hunting gear. You then have the Charleston Place, which is where we are, which is the centerpiece of the art displays. So a lot going on in town all weekend. And Kristen, we are so glad to have you guys back once again here in Charleston. We'll see you next year.
Sounds good.
All right, let's head back over to the News 2 studios, and I'll check back in with you at 6:30.